If you talk to someone in D.C., you should tell them to look to Michigan. We do things right.
And upbeat Governor Snyder telling everyone tonight that our turnaround is a model the nation should copy, touting his accomplishments in the first 2 years and laying out challenges for 2013.
Our team of reporters are working to show you everything that happened tonight and how it will impact you. The governor talked about having all of us pay more for better roads. We'll break down the numbers for you.
The governor also mentioned Grand Rapids tonight, the Rapids in particular. We'll let you know what he had to say. Outside of the Capitol, protesters upset about the right-to-work issue. They made their voices heard. You'll hear from them.
We begin our team coverage with political reporter Rick Albanese in Lansing with what the governor said and how your lawmakers are reacting to it. Rick?
Well, Susan, as we've been telling you for a week, the governor's big push tonight was for infrastructure, the roads you were talking about. That comes with a big price tag, $1 billion to $1.4 billion a year for the next 10 years, he says. But he also talked about that divisive session of the legislature in lame duck during December, and that's how he started out tonight, trying to bring Lansing together.
We had a divisive period, and that's unfortunate, and I wish it wouldn't have happened. Sometimes it does happen in this world. And what I would say to all of you is, I hope we can work together. I hope we can work to avoid those kind of situations. I've done hundreds of town halls in Michigan, and I've asked the question, does anyone in Michigan like our roads? I've not seen any hands go up after 100+ town halls. It's time to do something new. And these are really user fees. When I say additional revenue, let's be blunt, these are about user fees. You got a car, you're using the roads. You buy gas, you're using the roads. On the skilled trades training side, there's opportunities there for us to do much better. Because skilled trades, there are open jobs in Michigan that we're not filling. We should reform no fault. It is time. In terms of claims coming in, the severity of claims, we far exceed every other state in how expensive our claims are. The average claim in Michigan is $44,000. The other next two states are $17,000 and $10,000. And that leads to high auto insurance costs for people.
Now, the governor talked about that big ticket item, that infrastructure, bridges, roads, waterways, but primarily roads here in Michigan. We all know they're a problem. Most people agree they'd like to do something about it, but they don't agree on how you would pay for it.
You know, we need to look at who's actually doing the damage to the roads. You've got corporations that are hauling their heavy freight across our roads. That's who's doing the damage. We need to make sure that this is equitable across everyone who uses our roads, not just our middle-class families.
The governor put it out absolutely perfect today. He talked about the fact that we've gone through all of this. Everything has gotten better, but we're not there. This is part of how we make sure that Michigan continues going forward.
I've been talking about the same kinds of issues in terms of kids, hoping that we'd invest in early childhood for a long time, and I'm glad to hear that's on his agenda. I'm concerned about how it gets paid for.
Well, I think there's a general agreement that we need to do something about the roads, but again, the governor was not so specific in how he wants to pay for that, and we have concerns, I think, on the Democratic side that it just isn't another hit on the middle class.
How to pay for it? Well, there are two basic ways you could pay for a big project like that, either by raising the registration fee or raising gas taxes, likely. It could be both, and there could be some other suggestions there. The governor was very upbeat tonight, and he was very impassioned at the end of the speech where he talked about public service and why he believes he and the legislature is not here for themselves, but to serve the people of Michigan, and that's why he says they should do things that may not be politically expedient, but they will be good for the state in the long term. And again, he referred to that road project. So the governor laid out a very aggressive agenda tonight. We're going to be talking about it over the next several days. Back to you.
Rick, the governor knows it's not popular to raise taxes. It's going to be a tough sell. How do lawmakers take this back to their own constituencies?
Well, I think if they can sell it in the way the governor laid it out tonight as a long-term investment that will actually save money in the long term. Now, if they can make that case and if they can have the, as the governor would say, metrics to prove it, that might go a long way because a lot of people in Michigan would like to see better roads. One of the other problems, though, is there's that no-fault reform that we keep hearing about. And if that reform comes in such a way that it either reduces the amount of coverage we have with our insurance or increases the amount we have to pay into the catastrophic care account, which would also be a per vehicle expense, then you could get a double whammy, and that could make it more difficult. It's going to really depend if they look at that as a standalone, that is the infrastructure, and how quickly they move on it, and if they get any Democratic support in tonight. That's a really big question. Back to you.